What's up, everybody? It's episode 9 of the Sandbag Podcast with Kendall and William. Let's get into it. What's up, you beautiful people? Episode 9. We're getting into it. Almost double digits.
3 trilogies.
Also, it's not the Sandbag Podcast. It's the Sandbag Show. Yeah, sorry about that. What's up, everybody? Dude, new week,
Feeling
new
good.
you. How are you feeling, sir?
I started school Monday.
Oh, wow, look at you.
College. So I feel terrible.
Yeah, geez. How does that go?
If you want me to be honest, it's not really that bad. With all the COVID stuff.
Yep.
Classes were pretty on if you're gonna be there or not.
Yeah.
One teacher, one of my teachers literally said the class is optional. You could just stay home. Come if you have questions.
Dang.
Yeah. So that part's whack. And then I only have to go to school one day out of the week, and the rest is online. And it's like if I were good at online, that'd be sick.
Yeah, but
Except
you're
I'm not.
Mm,
It's like I'll pass the class, but I'm not going to retain any information.
yeah. That makes sense.
It's like I have 3 computers at my home by myself.
Like this is gonna get me the paper, but I'm not gonna learn anything.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like in high school that was okay. I didn't want to retain any information, but now I'm paying to be there.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, like it's your first year.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's just basic
It's
classes,
just
anyways,
general
right?
ed, except I'm majoring in history, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, with secondary education,
Nice.
and
Should that be reversed? Should you get a secondary in history? Am I dumb? Is that how that?
to be a high school teacher,
You need to have your major and your degree, and then a secondary.
secondary education. Yeah.
Somehow that seems weird to me. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just talked to a person who knows, and I
Oh,
said,
okay.
I want to be a high school teacher.
And then we're like, hey, let's do this.
Anyway, oh yeah, I'm majoring in history and secondary education. So I'm currently taking some history classes because I'm pretty good at history, and I'm confident to take that online. I actually requested to take it online.
Oh, word.
So I'm taking some accelerated classes, not like honors in high school, except just literally more material, shorter amount of time.
That makes
So
sense.
in one semester, I'm taking 2 history classes.
Oh, that's
So
legit.
that
so
is
you're getting
not-
like double credits.
It's technically general education, but I need it for my major in history.
That makes sense.
So that's it.
That's pretty legit, though. Dude, starting college. How's the place? Anything new with? I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know.
I mean, I got shelves, some new shelves. I got a new dish strainer.
That's
It's really weird. Like, obviously, people know moving into a new place, moving out of a new place,
Yeah.
starting anew or whatever. It costs a lot of money, and they know of all the things you have to buy.
Yeah.
But then there's just all those things you don't think to buy. Like,
and then you just get randomly.
yeah, like salt and pepper shakers, like the things
Yeah,
for salt
yeah.
and pepper.
No one would.
No
think
one
about
would
that.
think to buy that. I didn't think to buy it. I still haven't bought it.
That's pretty legit.
The small stuff, man, like the dish strainer that you put your dishes in after you wash them. I needed one of those. I had a towel. It was whack.
That's
It
rough.
was like that wasn't on my list. On my list was couch, TV, bed.
Yeah, like the
rug.
basic things.
Yeah.
You didn't
Crazy.
want to like live like an actual male college student where you just have like a lawn chair and a TV and your Xbox.
Yeah, man. I got it all decked out now.
Look at you. Dude, I do like the rug though. Rug's comfy.
It was an impulse buy, and it's the best thing I've ever. I think I've said that a million times on the show, but
It was good.
it was just like randomly. We had searched for rugs at so many places, even places that were designed just for rugs.
Yeah,
We couldn't
and you were
find
just
one.
like,
We're at Walmart, and we're like,
dude, I did the same thing with pants the other day. I was looking for this specific brand, specific type, found them at Walmart.
pants,
What? I don't understand.
better prices every day.
Hey, so guess what?
Sponsor us, Walmart.
Bam! Looky there. Well, okay, those of you who can't see, I got a cast. Well, this is technically a splint currently, but yeah, man, look at me, all bummy ankle now. I have ruined my teaching marching career for the next 3 months. I broke my ankle doing jiu-jitsu.
3 months.
3 months.
I obviously had already known that you'd broken your ankle, but
Yeah.
3 months.
Well, okay, my brother's was 6 months, so I was like, I'm glad, because 3 months will put me right before I need to audition. So,
Hey, man, your brother must have messed up.
yeah, well, he played basketball, and so like he landed from like
It'll
a
happen.
massive jump, and for me, the dude was just big, and he took me down, and then my legs crossed, or his legs, something, I don't know, it happened fast.
Yeah, it was during your jiu-jitsu lessons, right?
Yeah, it was like right after we started rolling or sparring. Yeah, it just happened fast, and I just remember like hitting the ground, and my ankle just popped like a million times. It was just like it was rough.
I've never broken a bone.
Really?
Never broken. I actually sprained both my ankles on the same day at the same time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Have we told that story?
No.
No, you said it to me in person.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was about to. So it was. Wait, we might have.
I don't think we mentioned this.
Well,
Go ahead.
If we haven't, or if we have, I'm telling it again.
Yeah. Oof. Here we go.
So it's episode 9, baby.
We don't care. Everything's out the window.
So I was trying out for football. This was 7th grade.
Okay.
And we were warming up. And I wasn't trying out. I was on the team. We were warming up.
Got it.
For a practice. We were jogging around a practice field. And there's a ditch around in the practice field, but we were jogging around the outskirts. It's on the edge, you know. So as we were jogging, I was not looking in front of me, so to speak. I was just normally jogging, and the grass had recently been mowed on the practice field. But I guess when they mow the grass on the practice field, they do not mow the grass in the ditch next to the practice field.
Or maybe they like run over it, and
I
so
don't
it's
know,
the same height.
But it was like the exact same height, almost. And I mean, obviously, after I had fallen, I got up and noticed. But you know how when you're walking up stairs or downstairs and you think there's another step, and you do that,
you have
like,
the fake.
Yeah, you
fake
do that like
step.
dumb, like you go up or down and there's nothing there, and like it's like a moment of falling.
Yeah.
It feels like it's like I did that, but it was like 4 feet. So
Jeez.
I just went straight down, and
That's rough.
And then I continued to practice for like a week and a half, because when you're a boy in school, you're like,
I can't
Pain?
miss practice.
what is pain? Psst, I'm so cool.
I mean, I'll be real. Like, I broke my leg as a kid. I don't remember which one it was. It may have been the same ankle that I have now. I don't know. But I broke my leg, and my brother was the one that did it. Like, we were playing like football. My brother's like 10 years older than I am. Like, he's a male, like a human male by this point, and I'm an adolescent, and we're playing football. And I was dumb. I don't do sports. I do band. And so I didn't realize that in football, you run your route so that you don't mess up your team, but also that you get far enough away from the other team. Like, there's a specific route that you run so that you're able to catch the ball and then go off into the touchdown.
Yeah.
I just ran. And so, like, I was just trying to juke people out that weren't there. Like, I just thought, like, I had to zigzag so people didn't catch me. And so I ran, like, right in front of my brother, and our legs crossed, and my leg snapped.
Ooh.
Yeah, we both landed on it. What was funny is he was like, nah, it's just a sprain. And so we lifted my leg up, and I walked on it for a week, 2 weeks. And it hurt really bad. And guess what?
That's what it would do.
No one took me to the hospital, and no one thought it was a broken leg until my Uncle John. He's was a medic in the Gulf War, and like I had never seen him in like years. This dude comes back and like is visiting the family and is like, did you break your leg? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, we're gonna go get that checked out. And he was the one. And I was like, really? Out of all the people, guy who just got here?
You got to think it's obvious.
Yeah, you think it is.
I've never seen a broken leg not being taken care of immediately.
Yeah.
But you got to think, like, that leg looked broke.
Like, I couldn't walk on it for 2 weeks. Like, I was still struggling after 2 weeks. Like, nah, dude, that was rough. Either way, for now, I got a broken bone and torn ligaments, and I know what's up now. So, not going to be walking on that.
Nothing is as bad as almost getting impaled.
Impaled?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah. I also did that, yeah.
Oh, man.
Did we tell that story?
I don't think we have. We should.
No. Okay, so if those of you who can see, yeah, Ethan, do your thing. There's a scar on the bottom of my neck here, and it used to run down my neck, actually. It started here and then went down the side of my neck.
This was like 5 years ago.
5 years, and I still have the scar. We were playing Frisbee. This was like 5 in the morning.
6. We had stayed up all night.
Yep.
And it was 6 in the morning in your neighborhood, and the sun had just come up, and we were hyped because we were like, we could go play Frisbee.
Yeah, we had stayed up. We had just played like lots of board games. We were hyped up on energy drinks. Like we were young.
We had some gas. Shout out
Yeah,
to people who know
gas.
who that is.
And we were excited. We were jamming. And so we're like, let's go play some Frisbee. And the neighbors had just gotten out, like the old people.
Walking
They're
their
gonna go,
dogs.
Yeah, going to go check their mail kind of deal. Across the yard, we played Frisbee in the street because I don't know why we didn't do it in the grass. Whatever. The street was more comfortable.
Yeah, not a long enough stretch of grass.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so we playing in the street, and the yard on the other side had like, I don't know, decorative fences.
It looked like what it literally looked like was like a picket fence, but half.
Yeah, it was weird. Either way, it was a
Like,
decorative like wooden picket fence.
Half its size.
Yeah, it
height.
had like some eagles on it. Like, I don't know. It was supposed to look good.
Yeah, but it was
didn't.
overgrown with grass, so it wasn't that noticeable.
Yes, agreed. So I go up for a pass. Your brother threw a pass, and it was like right above the tip of my hand. So I was obviously going to jump. I had made that jump many, many times. And what I didn't realize is in front of me was the fence.
Okay, so I have to say,
Yes.
for people who have never seen Kendall play Frisbee, Frisbee's like the only sport Kendall's good at. So Kendall, when he's playing Frisbee, he wasn't running, just like, as he was saying, running to go get this pass.
No.
Man is hauling.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get this pass because this is what he does. And
I was balling out.
yeah, you can continue.
Yeah. So, like, imagine, an adolescent me going up for this pass, doing the best I can, and I tripped over the fence.
Jumped and tripped.
Yeah, I jumped, tripped over the fence, and on the other side of the fence was rebar, and it was sticking out of the ground. It was 2 sets of them, and I landed with my neck. It hit me in the trachea. It only was flesh, thank God, but I actually hit it at an angle, and so I hit it and rolled off and hit the ground, and so it literally just scratched skin.
If he would have been 2 inches to his left,
2 inches to my left, if I would have hit it straight on, like anything, I would have been dead.
Straight up through his face.
And guess what? I didn't go to the hospital.
Yeah, it was scratched.
I didn't go.
We still have the picture.
Yeah.
We need to post it or something and shout out this episode. We still
That'd be legit.
My brother still has the picture of him laying on the ground, face first, and his hand is just over his throat, and we're just like, buddy.
What was funny is that like I knew, so when I hit the ground and I was like, I messed up my neck, and so I immediately go to grab it, and I was like, okay, I gotta make sure that I can still
breathe,
talk breathe. Like
That's
my trachea might be compromised, and I just like tried to like say something, and I was just like, nah. And I was like, okay, voice is good, trachea is good, and then I was like, if I move my hand and there's a lot of blood, I'm going to the ER right now. I moved my hand. There wasn't a ton of blood, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sit here for a second.
Because I bet it hurt.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then all of you guys were just like, you just thought I fell. And you were like, oh!
Yeah,
and
100%. We were like, dude!
And then I didn't get up, and you guys were like, oh.
Yeah. It's just so funny, like, I don't know, in that moment, I bet it was just like, your brain, like, instincts immediately, like, because, like, it was just a scratch in all reality.
Yes.
It was just a scratch, but your brain was like, yo, neck.
Yeah, we got to figure this out, dude.
That's a place that I like a lot. Gotta have a neck.
It was kind of funny because when we hit the ground, or when I hit the ground.
When we hit the ground.
When I hit the ground, so I checked everything, and I stayed there. I remember you guys went over, and I think you asked me if I was okay, and then your brother was like, hey, stay there for a second. I want to take a picture. And that's the picture that we have.
It was iconic, man.
It was.
Because his hand's just over his throat. He's wearing like a long sleeve sweater. It's 6 in the morning, so the light is perfect. And it's
just such a good picture.
You had man bun, right?
I think so.
I think this was Kendall's man bun.
This was before this hair, I had an undercut, and I had just the top of my hair and a man bun. Dang, dude.
It's truly one of those iconic pictures.
Yep. Well, I hit the ground and didn't go to the ER. Actually, I didn't do anything. I just put a Band-Aid on it.
We went inside.
Hurt really awful.
We went inside. Your
really
mom
bad.
was up because I think she was going to work.
I think so.
And
either that or my dad, one of the two.
It was definitely your mom because I remember she was just like, I mean,
and either way, like
you waited on a broken leg for 2 weeks.
Yeah, facts.
It's a scratch. What's
facts. Up? So I put the Band-Aid on it, and I remember we went back to doing like video games or something. And I remember within like 45 minutes, all of you got pissed at me because I was just complaining about my neck being like, cut open. And you guys were like, stop complaining about it. Jeez.
I don't remember this, but it sounds like something we would do.
Yeah, for sure. All of you were just like, God, this guy. So
I mean, you were probably saying it too much, Kendall. Let's be real.
Yep. And now, guess what? Don't complain at all. just
never.
not a factor. No factor. Broken ankle, shattered ankle in jiu-jitsu, you yell a little bit, you elevate your leg, and then you go.
Yelling is so tight.
By the way,
we'll leave it there.
It's my it's my right leg, and obviously, that's your driving leg. And I drive with my left leg now.
How uncomfortable is that?
Not really. Well, okay. Moving and propping the right leg up and out of the way is uncomfortable.
Right. You're also very, I don't want to say weird because there's probably, like millions or, however many people like you. But it's like you write with your right hand. So
yes.
You're technically dominant with your right hand.
But I do so many other things with my left.
When it comes to like sports, throwing a frisbee,
yep.
Everything else is with your left hand.
Yep.
But when it comes to like writing, holding your phone, that's mostly right hand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird.
Crazy.
I don't know why.
It's like
ambidextrous.
That word. It's like that, but only for some stuff. Sometimes.
It's weird. Yeah. It's like halvesies. So yeah, driving with my left foot, I just slam on the brakes a lot. That's it. Because like my body's like,
makes sense.
Slam. When like you're just starting out driving. But other than that, I got weird looks at band today, so I went to band, taught, and what was funny is that so we have Tuesdays and Thursdays rehearsals because we just got done with band camp, and we're finally putting people together. We're finally putting on the rest of the show, and we're finally getting into how to transition through all of this with everything going on in the world.
Yep.
And so Tuesday, I showed up. It was a fine day. We did PT. We did, warm up. We did drill.
Just
easy money.
Just a fine day.
Yeah, it was a good day. And then Thursday, I show up with a broken leg, and everybody's like, huh? And they have been seeing, okay, these kids, again, we've gone over this, they're not competitive at all, and
Definitely.
they use marching band it's a pastime. It's a fun time. It's not like, hey, we want to do this forever. And so, they don't know a ton about drum corps. And so they just see me as a god in a way.
Definitely. I was there for a year.
Yeah, exactly. And even though I'm still trash and I'm very garbage, when they saw me break my leg and I'm coming in with a cast, they just immediately were like, "Wow, God is dead now." The God has died. He's done.
I've only ever been to one high school, but I'm assuming through memes and online stuff that most high schools are pretty similar.
Yeah, it's not there's a few high school bands, and specifically in Texas and big music oriented states.
Yeah,
there's a lot of BOA competition type bands for sure.
Yeah,
but the majority is not that.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people can relate to this, but like we just said, most things are pretty similar. But our band very much fed off of energy from other people. When our band director was being more rude than normal or was just doing whatever.
Had an off day.
Yeah, had an off day, as people do. We had an off day.
Yeah.
When we had instructors there that were being more hyped than normal, we were more hyped than normal.
Yep.
If our instructors seemed like they wanted us to learn more, we wanted to learn more. It was very much energy oriented.
It's kind of like having similar to parents having small kids. They pair it very much so.
Yeah. So I can really just see you coming in with a broken leg, not being able to do PT, not being able to show them marching. They're just
and it was weird because I have a nice balance of using my words and then also demonstrating. I talk with my hands.
The best way.
Yeah, exactly. And so I texted all the officers. I have a group chat with them, and I was like, hey, this is the situation. This is my plan. Here's our our green light. This is what we're gonna do. And then I show up. And I get to band, and then I have a conversation real quick with them before we start, dynamic warm-ups and stretching and that kind of deal. And it really was I'm so glad that I did everything with them, because I don't know, for me, if I'm going to teach you, I also need to know that skill better, if not just the same as you do. There's very few times where
the goal is, if you already don't know the skill I'm teaching you, to get you to my level.
Exactly. And again, there's small nuances with that. There's a lot of bodybuilders that have coaches that are super small or not in that same category, which is understandable. And there's a lot that you can do with that. That's not every case. But so I do PT with them. I do all the dynamic stretches with them, and I demonstrate all the marching. And so I couldn't do any of that. What was funny, though, is we hit PT, and I brought my bag, and I literally just set it by this post, and I got down and did a whole ab routine while they did PT, and I was just like, I got to do something. And everybody was just like, why are you here?
Got to put that work in, dog.
And it was funny, too.
I'm going to come out this stronger.
Like, it's funny too. Like, I mean, like, they saw me Tuesday, and it was like, well, he's fine now. And then, like, literally the next day, I was broken. And so it was just like,
Sucks, man.
I don't think a lot of people would do that. I'm not like trying to, you know.
Oh,
be
you mean still show
egotistic.
up?
Yeah, like I just
literally before the show, when you told me you went to band, I was like, you still went? I would have done been at home. Be like, ooh, she kind of sore. I know I could be there for more support, but ooh.
yeah, everybody was not happy with me. Like all the the drum majors and all the seniors know me because I think they were in 8th grade when I was a senior, so they kind of were a little bit closer as far as we know each other a bit more. And all of them were like, why are you here? You shouldn't be doing any of this. Go home. And well, we did it.
Just like Kendall, he's gonna be there.
Jeez, I do want
sandbagging.
Sandbag. Honestly, biggest sandbag over here, dude.
When
I am the epitome of this show.
I honestly have never heard anybody use that term before we started this. Like when you brought
really?
when you brought up the idea for that being a name, I was like, huh? What is that? And ever since, like, my dad has said it.
Yep.
Like many people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, many people have said it as like a verb. I don't think it's
so
because
it's catching on.
I don't think it's because of our show.
Oh, okay. You're just noticing it
Yeah,
more?
I feel like it's just either coincidence or I'm just noticing it more. Yeah.
Or they're using it because of you?
My dad does not watch my podcast.
No, I know, but you're saying it more, and so they're saying it because of you? Yeah.
Maybe.
Nah, let's just keep it because the
Yeah,
podcast.
it's because we're so popular.
Yeah, we are so good.
Check
Our
out-
production is...
Yeah. We had 14 views last episode. That's 14 people.
That facts. We got like...
I don't even got
6
14 friends. I can name 8 of those people. I don't know who the rest are. That's sick.
I know like a lot of people. I don't think I'm friends with a ton of them. Friends with like 2 people. Not even you. I'm not even friends with you.
We don't talk.
We don't. Actually, I don't think we've talked since the last time we recorded.
No, I came over to your house when you broke your leg.
Nah, that wasn't really a talk though.
It was like
5 seconds.
25 seconds. Hey, 25 seconds.
25. I did want to talk about that though. Wow, that was a weird transition. Not about me breaking my leg and you coming over. But you were talking about like performing under pressure or like regardless of what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember vividly there's a lot of people, especially just in other groups, categories, other professions. There's this mentality, especially like in football. I know you've mentioned this before. Like there's a lot of guys who, if they get injured, a lot of them will just be like, hey, can you play? If not, you're cut.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of mentality. It's like a very aggressive, you know?
Like man up.
Yeah, like man up or like, human up, like do it. I was thinking about that recently, and like, especially with some of the people that are telling me like, hey, dude, you actually need a rest because, you got a broken bone you need to fix. I did think about that. There's a lot of people that I follow that have gone through, a lot of my friends actually, who have just gone through worse in life than I have. I'm very fortunate in what I have as far as resources and ability and then like experiences. Like I didn't have to go through anything. If my struggle was all mental, like no external struggle at all. Like you are a perfect example. Like you grew up in a way worse home than I ever did. Like not even close. So that being said, like when I break my ankle, like I can't not be there, you know? Yeah. There's just this like stigma that's like, nah, you got to perform regardless.
It's like, who are you to stay home?
Yeah, Yeah. I think that's...
I understand what you're saying, even though I don't agree with it.
Yeah, it's a very backwards and it can be a very dangerous mentality for sure. And I know there's a lot of people like in drum corps, people get an injury, and whether it be like a sprain or, hey, I tore a muscle or something, if they get back in, a lot of times that could get worse.
Yeah, definitely.
And the mentality of like, well, I can't lose my spot, or I have to be there because that spot has to be filled, or I can't just be here and rest, Yeah,
definitely.
It just, I get the mentality of like, hey, I got to get back in. There's this fine balance. I know we've talked about that a lot, like riding the line between finding a balance in everything. And I think that this is very similar.
Yeah, it's just so, you saying this and me saying I agree with it, it's so easy in the moment. Like, let's just take drum corps specifically. It's like most of the people there, that's their life.
Yep.
You have some people that are just so good, they're doing it as a pastime, whatever. But most of the people there, they worked really hard every year.
Yep.
And they try really hard every year to get an audition. And it's like, then you slip one day, not even practicing, and you're told that you can't do that thing that you also paid to do and are looking forward to every day. It's really easy to just be like, dude, feels fine. I feel good. And just not feel good.
It's like, for example, it was really dumb, and like the reason, I think you know the reason. I don't think we can share it here. But Jonathan Amar was one of our baritones. Big, tall guy, excellent performer, like both visually and musically. Just a solid drum corps guy. His kneecap was pushed out of place. Like, if you like look at your kneecap, you know how it like floats a little bit?
Yeah.
It went to the side of his leg.
Ew.
Yeah, it was gross. But that happened not during rehearsal, but at like right before the end of the night. We were about to have a free day the next day, and his kneecap like just boop went over. Weird freak accident, happens like 1 in a million, and it really had nothing to do with what we were doing at the time. It was just weird. And
weird.
He sat out for like several weeks, and we lost like a really good performer. But if he had gone in, he wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Yeah, it's also a really dangerous thing because, like, if he, I don't know, whatever to his kneecap, and he could be so determined to get back in that he really doesn't feel it. Like, it doesn't hurt.
Yep.
It's like, it's not, he's saying it doesn't hurt. He's not trying to get back in. He's like, nah, I feel great.
Yep.
Let's get in there.
Yep.
It's just,
and even that could be detrimental.
Yeah, it's just not, it's not even like a conscious choice every time.
Agreed. And again, on the flip side of that, there's a lot of people who will milk everything. I know I was that for a long time. Yeah, I was that guy for a while. Hey, I got this injury, or hey, I don't feel good today, or I'm not in the mood, so I just won't do it. There's two people specifically, and these guys are just like freaks. Not because they're lucky or that they just were born this way. Like, they get it, and they get after it, and they're really good at it. Jocko Willink and David Goggins. If you look, a little explicit, so beware. But if you look at any of their Instagram posts, Facebook stuff, like, they just get after it regardless of what happens. David Goggins like went through a rough part in life and like shattered like both of his legs, and still did like crazy, like ran 100 miles, like ultra runner, like stupid dude. He recently like I think he had something wrong with his legs or something, and someone took a video of him. They found him like beside, like on the backside of a treadmill on his knees, like walking with his hands, and he was just like trying to get in some sort of exercise because his ankles were messed up. And I was like, I got to do something. I can't I can't sit on the sidelines with this bum ankle, bro.
It's like, you talk about that fine line.
Yeah.
It's like, there's extremes on both sides.
It is.
Like, that man working. Like, when's your rest day, homie?
Agreed.
Your muscles got to rest.
But like, for example, for today, I did PT with the band. Yesterday, I did PT on my own. I did pull-ups because I had a bar. I did some dips and some like ab exercises because that's all I could do with the splint that I have. But today I did PT with the band, and then I took like a 2-3 hour nap because like your body's got to heal. And so I was just like, I ate, I took a minute, let it digest, bam, I was out.
Man,
out.
I can't think of the last time I had one of those good 3 hour naps.
Exactly.
Before 9.
Yep. And guess what? Like I feel the same as if I were to not take a nap. It's literally just because like I'm regrowing a bone. But I don't know. It kind of feels the same way of like mental problems as well. Like whether you're not in the mood, you're not in the, you're just not feeling it, or you got other things going on, you're in a rough place, or you got external like life problems that are like bleeding into your job or affecting you mentally. I know I was talking to our color guard today, but it looked like fatigue was setting in. They were getting tired of the tedious stuff that we were doing, and like half the time they can't really do much because they have choreo that spans several sets, and we need to go set by set, and so they're just kind of stuck sitting. And I could tell, like, not only were they tired because it's hot, it's gross, it's a weird, flexible, like, it's odd, and it's not the marching band that they're used to. And so I could tell, like, fatigue was setting in, because I saw their faces as they threw rifles, and it was just like they weren't performing, you know? Like I didn't see anything. And it's granted they just now learned their show, but I mentioned like a lot of times like when you perform, especially in drum corps and in marching band in general, like you can't let people know how hard it is. The thing that you're doing, you can't let them know how hard that is.
Yeah, you're supposed to look like you're having a great time.
Yeah, not only that, but you're supposed to look effortless.
Yeah.
Like
I do this in my sleep. I woke up like this, dog.
like if you think about it, like have you ever seen like LeBron James go up for a dunk and look like he's struggling?
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't want to be there. Like,
yeah, just like meh.
no, he's like, I'm about to dunk.
Or like, have you ever seen Kobe Bryant like him like juking out people with his hands like mid-air? Like, have you ever seen him like struggle?
Nah, he's hyper focused, baby.
I was reading his book, Mamba Mentality, and he goes through a lot of the injuries that he has because he's messed up.
Any professional athlete usually is.
Granted, I said he was messed up. He's dead. Yikes. Well, rip Kobe Bryant. Moving on. Wow, look at us. Sandbag Show, episode 9.
It wasn't bad until you...
until I stated it.
Yeah.
Well, might as well bring light to it.
Like
someone's going to be in the comments and being like, wow, he really roasted Kobe Bryant. He could be
like
dead.
You literally just touched the ice.
Yeah, I touched it, and then I was like, nah, I broke it. Might as well. Either way, while he was performing and while he was in his career, he messed up his body a lot. Like ankles, like knees, everything. I remember there's a video that's surfacing now just because of his recent death, like a meme. And it's literally like a zoom in of Kobe Bryant going to the sideline, and he puts his head into his coach's shoulder, and his coach literally grabs his hand, and you see like them flinch, and then Kobe Bryant like just gets back up, like he flinches and then he goes away. It's because he dislocated his finger, and his coach was like putting it back into place.
Yeah,
this dude played like 2 more quarters after that, and it was just like, what? I don't understand.
We got games to win, baby.
Agreed. And it comes down to like writing that line, knowing when it is to rest, and like having a default for not aggression, but proactiveness. You know, being willing to push through garbage.
Yes.
Because a lot of times like you may not be feeling it is because one day that's just your mentality. If you just get through it, go through the motions, do the workout, do whatever, by the next day you're not going to feel that.
Yeah, it's like
usually.
Yeah. I know some people, like people from school that I see online.
Yeah,
and just people in general. I know that people like this exist who just like they don't feel like going to work, so they call out, and they don't feel like doing this, so they get around it. And it's like, when does that stop? / where are you gonna go with that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you move forward? Dodging everything.
Agreed.
Like I genuinely I don't like my job, so to speak. Like I'm not there having a grand old time, but I'm making money.
Agreed.
And I got bills to pay.
And like,
so I wake up every morning.
We spent 2 podcasts making fun of you for quitting Red Lobster and also ditching Red Lobster because you wanted poison ivy.
Because screw Red Lobster.
Again, but if you think about it,
Red Lobster.
One, everyone's human. That's gonna happen. Like things are you're not gonna want to do things.
Yeah,
but also
everybody does it sometimes.
You are also on the way out.
It's when you make a habit.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
and it's very easy to make it a habit.
And there's also, when it comes to jobs specifically, like things you do to make money, it's like if you do genuinely hate it, man, there's other stuff out there.
Agreed.
In my opinion. So like I had to get out of there. I don't hate my job now. I do have fun. I chuckle. It's whatever.
Like I think I think where the line is really like, one, your goal in life is to be happy, like to doing whatever, even if it is, you know, menial or it's not something that makes you a ton of money. Like your goal is to be happy in life, and if you have to do crappy, shitty things to get there, that is the stuff that you have to push through. That's the stuff that you're like, well, I got to eat dirt today.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like you get in the ground and you get dirty.
I've eaten too much dirt.
We've eaten too much dirt to get this podcast going.
I've eaten too much dirt with little reward.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like when I tipped that waitress that extra money, man.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. It was just the first thing that came to my mind because it happened like not too long ago.
That's ridiculous. I specifically remember I remember a day that this happened specifically. We're in Arkansas 2. So this is the second time that we're in Arkansas. Arkansas is kind of like our home base for Arkansas, putting on like our new ending for the show. And so we go to Arkansas twice. We learn the show or learn the new ending. We forget about it, do a couple shows, come back to Arkansas, and then we put it on and add it to the show and forget everything else that we did before. Does it make sense? Either way, we're putting on new stuff.
The words that are coming out, I know what they mean.
Okay, cool. So we go to Arkansas, and it's the second Arkansas. Our directors were like, hey, everything you learned at Arkansas 1, forget about it. We're not even going to use it anymore. Here's new drill, new music.
Is that frustrating?
1, I'm going to get there. That was awful. So we got new music, new drill, so we're already pushing it. We're already gunning to get this stuff on the field. And what's funny is that we don't even touch the rest of the show. We don't run it. We don't practice it. Nothing. You're just expected to know it. We only focus on the new ending. So we're trying to get this.
You're doing a great job of saying it like it doesn't piss you off.
Because
like that would make me some type of way.
It's rough. Like, okay, I get it because in the end, and I'll get to this too. Like in the end, I get it. Like we want a good show. This is how we're gonna get there. That being said, in the moment, it was awful. We're pushing through. We're doing a lot of work to get this on the field. And then also, just as like a screw you mellophones, we had our own part. We had our own part, and it was split, mellophone 1 and 2. And that was about all the chord structure that we had. When we get to the field and we get to ensemble, Derek, our caption head, was like, hey, mellophones, I want you to play mellophone, or he said, mellophone 2, I want you to play the part 1, like the mellow 1 part. And we were like, we don't have the music for that. And he was like, yeah, just figure it out before ensemble. And then we switched again. And then Scott was like, hey, just play it for these measures instead. And then it was like, no, go back, play the whole thing. And it was like, we had those types of changes, those types. And it was dumb, stupid dumb.
Dude, I'd be mad.
Meanwhile, outside of drum corps, I'm not going to go into detail because it's my own personal life, but things were happening at home. Family was kind of like in a rough place. I was getting texts while all that was happening, giving me information, but I was also like...
I was working through some issues.
Yeah. I was also getting like direct information. I was a part of the issue. And so things were happening on the outside, and it was ruining me.
Uncontrollable things.
Yes. On top of the fact that I was garbage, I still was dealing with my embouchure. On top of... my section was still like, bro, you got to get good. And I wasn't good. So I'm like really huffing it. And Arkansas was hot. It was gross. We had to sleep in a press box with no air conditioning. Like it was just a bad time. It was a bad time.
Yeah, sounds like a bad time.
And so Arkansas 2 is getting rough. And by the end of the day, I'm sitting there and I'm fuming. Like I'm visibly mad. I get to Arkansas, I put my bags down, and I'm like, look, I got one more block. I just got to make it through this. And I was like, do your job, get through it. That was my mentality. It was like, I just have to get through this, and I guarantee you tomorrow's going to be better. That's what I was telling myself. Well, I get through most of ensemble. We section, we do production runs, that kind of deal. And then we get to running the whole show. We run it once. And it was awful. I felt awful. It was not good. Every note that I tried to play cracked, and then we had to do it a second time. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm visibly, like, upset. I'm, like, I don't know if you've ever seen me angry. Have you ever seen me, like, livid?
Nah, I just been with you for 8 years or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know if you were there.
Yes, I've seen you mad.
Okay. Like,
I've seen you mad at me.
But, like, not that angry, you know?
I've seen you pretty pissed at me.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. We'll have to...
Because you make that face. Like,
yeah, like...
I wanted to hit you if there weren't repercussions right now.
Yeah, that kind of... I do get angry. Like, I have a mean mug. I'm also, like, I know that I can't react because it's going to affect everyone around me. And it's also going to draw unnecessary attention to crap that we don't need to focus on.
Yeah.
And so, when I
You're
do that,
mature.
though...
Wow.
When I do that, though, like, I have to physically do something. Like, my body gets into this, like, mode where, like, I don't know, endorphins run through, and I gotta do something. And so like I'm visibly like contracting muscles, like I'm clenching my fists. I'm just trying to stay contained.
But you need to get you some of those like
Stress balls?
nah, they're like wrist like
What?
I don't know what to call them. I want to say wrist weights, but that's literally not it. You squeeze it and it has like a certain amount of pressure, like weight pressure. Do you have to?
I don't remember
It's
that.
to work out like forearms and like
grip strength?
Yeah, grip strength.
Yeah, that guy.
Jeez.
Either way, I was going and I was fuming. And at this point, I was so mad that this is the point where like I start crying because like I don't do that normally. I'm just not that kind of person.
I've been there
But
in front of a lot of people.
dang, I was close.
Oh man.
And so
It's only ever happened one time where I was so mad I cried in front of people.
yeah,
You were there. Well,
was I?
You were in the other room.
I think I remember that.
It was band class.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
It's whack.
Either way, I'm there and I'm at that point, and our directors are like, "All right, blue coats, let's do it again." And so
Over the thing.
yeah.
I can hear it, man.
All right, blue coats,
All right, bro, coach. Let's go one more time.
Set one.
Hey, Kendall, stop sucking.
But yeah, full run. Mellophone 16, please. Know your dots. And so like I'm getting called out from the box. My section is like, hey, we got to do this. And then our techs are like, hey, we have to nail X, Y, and Z. Like they're just giving me a ton of information that I just can't process right now. And I get up in my line and I'm fuming. And the whole time I'm just thinking, do your job, do your job, do your job. And I hit that first note, or excuse me, we hit the first set. I'm doing everything. Visually, I'm pretty okay. But I'm like this far behind.
Right.
Or I'm like this far off.
You're not
like
in it.
It's tiny, tiny details,
You just
but
weren't.
it's those details that matter.
Yeah. You weren't mentally 100%.
Nope. I hit the first note, crack. Didn't hit it. Hit the second note, crack. I stopped playing. Hit the next note, crack. Every note that I played, that entire run, I cracked.
It's demoralizing.
I got to a part where my horn was down, and I was about to have a horn snap to go forward, and I just remember I started screaming. I just started yelling during the show. Granted, people were playing around me because I don't think anybody heard me. And then I got up to play the lick, which was just like a very technical piece. Had to focus on it. Cracked the first
It's
note.
called the lick.
Yeah. Cracked the first note. Ended it. I stopped playing the lick because I was like, I'm not going to mess it up. And then that's when the tears just came out. And I just started crying. And I did the entire show just bawling my eyes out, just running. And I finished, and they were like, all right, guys, Blocos, let's circle up at the 50. And so, like, we're going to have a meeting at the very end. And I was like, nope. I went home. Not really, but I got my stuff, and I was like, I'm out.
I caught a plane, and I quit. And I never went back.
And this is why I still suck at drum corps.
Freaking Arkansas 2.
It was rough, dude. And, like, drum corps is not pretty. It's like, it really is, like, it is super intense day after day, and it's 3 months straight. So I say all of that. I tell the story because, I don't know, it's interesting. But also, there is a place where you really do need to have not only an extra person to maybe confine with or be like, hey, I need somebody, but also you need to find an outlet to let that stuff out, to be ready to go, because if you contain any of that, that was my mentality for a long time. If you contain any of that, it's not gonna do anything.
It doesn't help nothing.
No. And like, I don't know, the stigma for, I don't know, the social expectation for men is just like, shove it down.
Yeah.
Like, that's the old way of thinking with emotions, but there's a time and place for it. And there's also like, there's some where you really do have to have someone else. It's just like, you got to get something out, do some push-ups, yell a little bit, go on your own.
There's such a difference between shifting your anger and then releasing your anger.
Agreed.
Because like,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Like if you're so mad and you start doing something to make the anger go away for a little bit, like I don't know, with like crocheting or something, and the anger comes back when you stop.
Yeah.
You're not releasing it.
No.
You're just focusing on something else, which is just not helpful. It's actually detrimental.
And that was my goal with the show. I was just like, well, I'll just let this anger out and let me perform. Nope. By the way, you can't play an instrument and be angry at the same time. It just doesn't happen.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure it makes for some like pretty badass, like
you can be intense,
like hard, like,
but be angry though. I don't know.
Like I'm so mad, like Whiplash.
Okay, brass instrument. You can't do that. Everything else though.
Whiplash is a good movie.
Good movie.
Please
Facts.
sponsor us, Whiplash.
Not my tempo. I say that it's a rough time in drum corps, but also just in life. And I feel like if you are able to set yourself up with a ring of support with other people, but also just in general to have outlets for yourself. Know how to control your emotions both in times of need. Like as a leader, like I don't know if you've experienced this with your time, but like as a leader, you're supposed to be able to control your emotions, because if you don't, that affects the team, not just you, you know?
Yeah.
You are now becoming selfish for letting all those emotions out. There's a time and place to keep those guarded and to keep them under wraps so that you can have a time and leave and deal with those emotions. Does that make sense?
Responsibly.
Yeah. It's like
Because you can deal with emotions irresponsibly.
you can't. That's
Very irresponsible.
Agreed. I don't know. I mentioned that just because, like, especially with the ankle that I have now. What are you doing?
It just
don't touch it, and you'll be fine.
okay.
Dude doesn't know how to handle a cord. Just put it in front of you. That's what I do, and then that way you don't touch it.
No.
Okay.
I will figure this out myself.
I don't know, especially with like the bum ankle and like everything that I've been doing now with the job that I have, the 2 jobs that I have, teaching marching band and landscaping. I can't do any of that now.
I got 2 jobs.
I also can't do the biggest thing that helped me mentally, which was working out or focusing on mental health or
Homie, you got a broke ankle. You can't do nothing.
I can't do nothing. Yeah.
You do pull-ups.
Yeah, I can do pull-ups. And
you play video games.
I've been told that I have to be confined to one space and elevate my leg and take naps, and it's like I just spent 6 months like
doing that,
raging. Yeah, I've just been 6 months like getting after it, and now you're telling me I can't do any of it?
Oh, I thought you were alluding to the whole quarantine situation.
Oh.
So I just spent like.
I mean, even then I was raging like inside my own house. I was getting it.
Kendall doesn't ever let the gains go.
That's the thing. It's like that was my mentality for a long time. That's what got me through a real dark place, like in the winter.
Those gains.
That was the goal.
These gains got me through Christmas, baby.
Christmas is a hard time. I don't like Christmas. It's a holiday.
I don't know why I said Christmas.
I don't know. That's a rough place to be if you're sad on Christmas.
I need something to push me through Christmas, man.
All these presents, dude.
Just got me out here working out on Christmas Eve.
Dude, I'm just doing reps. God, that's funny. God, that'd be a good character to make. Just a guy that's sad on Christmas, but
that's his whole thing.
Yeah, that's just this thing.
He ain't even got a reason. Why you sad on Christmas? I don't know, man.
I don't know. Life, it just be hard.
Look at all this joy and jolly. Be all everywhere singing.
Dude, I was under the mistletoe.
Nobody was there with me, though.
No, somebody was there with me, but I'm still sad.
Oh, man. I was making out, bawling.
Yeah.
Just crying about it.
Crying. God.
Oh, man. Shout out to Sad Christmas Guy.
Sad Christmas Guy. His name should be, I don't know, Jerry. Shout out to Jerry's over there. I don't know. We talk about...
Cheer up, Jerry. Jeez.
Gosh, Jerry.
I got you a gift and everything. You crying about it. You feel some type of way.
It was a happy picture. I painted it myself.
I spent good money on it. Bought the canvas, bought the paint, bought the brush. What's up?
God.
Come on, man. Now I'm mad. Come on, Jerry.
Hey, control your emotions. We got a podcast to do. Jeez. I don't know. We mention it, and especially with things that I'm doing now, like especially in a leadership or a teaching position, like your goal is, or excuse me, your whole job is working with other people.
Yeah.
And you let that go in like a minimum wage job, like even in, I don't know, the things that I do now, landscaping, you work retail, you let that go on a customer or even the other people that you work with. That's not going to really follow you in life.
Yeah,
okay,
it's going to suck in the moment. You shouldn't do that. It's a terrible thing to do.
And you might get fired or reprimanded, but like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a problem.
Yeah, in 10 years, you won't remember it. Or you will because it'd be funny.
Facts. You do this as a teacher or as a leader in a team,
yeah,
you're done. You're done. That's going to follow you wherever you go.
Yeah, you're done. You're done anywhere that, like, if you do it as a teacher, you're done as a teacher everywhere else. Like, you can't have a teacher that does that. That's like really bad.
No. And here's the thing, like, I know people who have been those teachers. I've been one of those teachers. I can't tell you, like, last season, and again, I think we mentioned this before, like, drum corps hit me hard post-finals. Like, ending with drum corps and then not also being in the right mentality and then going into a rough time in life, that hit me like a brick. And I went to the same high school that I'm teaching now, and like those kids knew it. They knew that I was not there because that's not the person they knew before I left. I was just a totally different dude. That being said, like there's redemption to be had. There's, change can be made. Like you're not stuck, but if you just don't start that way, you should be fine.
Yeah, man, people can change.
Agreed.
I just literally I can't even wrap my head around like the people who are like, no, man, people can't change, man.
Dude, people change every day.
Yeah, it's like I changed from this morning.
Yeah, legit. I don't know. People can change, but they also can. It's again.
Yeah, it's like,
hey, look at that line.
I guess the proper saying should be people can't change in a day.
I don't even.
That would be better because people can't change in a day. You could change drastically in a day, but you still have habits are habits. That's why they call it habits.
Yeah, agreed. I see where you're going.
You could change mentally in a day very easily. Yeah.
I don't know. I think to just kind of like wrap up that whole concept that we just started, it really comes down to like what's gonna get you long term. Like, what are your goals? How are those goals gonna be met? And is what you're doing right now gonna set you up for the very end? Like in drum corps, your goal is to have a good show. Or if you're in top 5, like your goal might be a championship or might be, a Jimont or a Zingali. Like your goal might be something there.
Ooh, big words.
Yeah, those aren't big words. Those are names.
Oh, those are big words.
Either way, your goal is to this end product, What?
I was about to say, if I can't spell them,
they're
too
big words.
Too big.
Shoot. I can't even spell Toshiba.
Conquistador. Big.
Hi, dude. I know my stuff.
Toshiba.
I don't know. It's especially with drum corps like and marching band, like it's hard to see the end of the road, especially with a non-competitive marching band. Like you don't have much to look forward to. There's not like this end thing other than we want to be good. You know, it's kind of arbitrary.
To relay off of your point and to add something, we've said this phrase several times in the show about several different things, but there's always just like a really fine line where it's like, yeah, you want to have goals, you want to be setting yourself up for the future, you always want to be working towards your future, but at the same time, anything can happen.
Agreed.
And anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
So you always want to be
flexible.
You want to be having a good time now. You don't want to always be eating dirt.
I see what you're saying.
Because,
like having a good mix of both.
Yeah, because anything could happen, like you could car crash, all that stuff. All the anythings.
Life can change real quick.
You can break your foot.
You can break your ankle in jiu-jitsu.
Do stuff that you want to have your foot because one day you may not have your foot. Yep. Think about it like that.
I kind of think of it as in a way like, your end goals should be life goals for like even if like drum corps finishing the season with a win, that's short term in my opinion. Like when I think about long-term goals, it's like life things. Like where do I want to be? What's the legacy I'm going to leave behind when I'm dead? That kind of deal. And if you're not setting yourself up, one, you're just kind of doing a disservice to yourself because you're not what you should be. But on top of that, like what are the short-term things that are going to get me there? And how do I do that right now? Because I don't know, there's a lot of people who just like they live every day doing the same thing and they don't get anywhere. Yeah, it's just because like they're stuck in that rut of like either they feel too bad to not do the thing or they just don't do the thing.
Being prepared for anything in the future, it's just one of the easiest, most helpful things to do for yourself.
Yeah,
it's like when you have like a certain like drink or something set up for yourself when you wake up in the morning, or like your coffee's already like pre-made or something like that.
Things
like,
go fast.
Yeah, you like setting yourself up just to like cruise along instead of doing all those things when they come.
Yep.
It's just so helpful, and that's for like anything in life. Because
I mean, you think about money, like that's why people save money.
Yeah.
Like if you have an accident or you need to replace a part for your car, that kind of deal.
Almost anything that isn't happening right now, when you have free time, you can prepare for things like that.
Yep.
And it's always, like I said, it's just helping you out.
Agreed.
Nobody else but yourself. Like it just makes it so much easier.
And again, that can also be applied to teams. You know, what are you doing to set your team up for success?
Yeah.
You
And
know,
it's also another reason why being unprepared is so frustrating to people who expect you to be prepared. Like, because it's just one of those things that's really easy. Like band directors or people who expect you to learn certain things or expect you to know certain things.
and then you don't.
And then you don't know it, and then they have to learn it or teach it to you in that moment.
Agreed.
It's like, you could have been prepared for this. It was really easy for you to be prepared for this. I know you had at least 15 minutes of free time at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
And you just didn't.
being
you know?
unprepared is one of the most frustrating things to other people.
Yeah.
Because it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, especially in a team.
Get
you
good.
know,
Yeah,
in
a team specifically, or a team, or not like a team, or
like a group.
yeah, like a big organization of people
Yeah,
who all
yeah,
have a
yeah.
job,
Mm-hmm.
and you might not even be working with those people specifically. But if you don't do something, you can affect their lives.
Even like physically or mentally, like my goal when I work out is not like I don't care how I look, like maybe a little bit, but other than like I want to stay capable. That's the goal. And I think we mentioned this before, like talking about physical training. Like I just want to stay capable, and I need to get my headspace in the right place. I need to be in a good headspace or have the tools to, you know, get there, so that if crap happens like this, like breaking an ankle, I am not in this rough place to start with, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
I think like all the work that I did from January until now really set me up to where like this ankle thing, it's going to suck, but like it's not as bad as it really could have been. Both physically, I could probably not even move as well as I do now. Like I'm able to do a lot physically, even though I got a bum ankle. And then on top of that, like I would have been done for. Like mentally, I would have been in a rough place. Like guaranteed, I would have been gone.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't even think about that.
No way
Like,
that I could have survived this mentally.
You talked about when you came back and started teaching, you just weren't like the same person, the
Yep.
person you wanted to be.
Yep.
I just couldn't imagine if you couldn't have gone to work.
Dude, imagine that,
Like
dude.
you-
Like I just can't.
I'm looking at your face. You look scared about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It scared the crap out of me. And that's the thing too. It's like I think fear, shame, like those like taboo feelings, like sometimes again in doses, in portions, sometimes those are good. Like if you have a fear of death, you might need to fix that. But like if you have a fear of like your legacy being ruined, or like your end goal not being served, or you not serving others, like if you have a fear of not doing you and like being your best,
right.
that's good, dude. Like oof. We're getting deep on the Sandbag podcast. A little bit. I don't know. I think especially now, like the ankle is really, I feel good about it.
Skunks.
Like it's weird.
Skunks scare me, man.
What?
Skunks.
What do you mean?
They scare me. You were talking about
Why?
fears.
Why
I
do
got
you
fear skunks?
Are you legit or like you just memeing?
I mean, I guess it's a small fear. I'm not like terrified.
I don't
Dude.
understand. What's the fear of skunks?
Skunks are like just mean, man. That their whole attack is like, I'm gonna make people not want to be around you. I'm gonna be an asshole. Oh no, pain? Anything about that? Nah, just shame.
Nah.
You smell.
You gotta
bad.
bathe in tomato juice.
You smell bad. Watch out for skunks.
Oh God. Every time I'm thinking like, you know what? We got a good podcast.
They're out to get you.
We just sometime like loop it back around to where, you know, this is still garbage.
Or I ruin it at the end.
Yep. 2 minutes to go and we just nosedive into garbage content. I think it was the deep stuff, not the skunks.
The garbage stuff?
Yeah.
Man, it ain't no joke, man. Animals like that, who their whole attack is like, I can't think of another one. It's just skunks. They're not trying to hurt you, man. They're just mean.
Yeah. I guess.
Like everything else, it's like I'm either poisonous, or I cause
Yeah.
pain, or I'm scary, or I make loud noises. Skunks are like, psst, you smell bad. What's up? What's up? I can't even do anything anymore. Like, you already smell bad. That's my whole attack. I ain't got nothing else. Boom. And that is enough to make you go, damn it.
Well, what about octopus? Like the ink.
It's a screen. It's like, psst, and they're gone.
Well,
You can't
yeah.
in the water, you can't see
But then
anything.
you're stuck with oil and
But
stuff
that's
on
not
you.
their point. Their goal isn't to,
I feel like they're the same,
I'm
though.
going to put oil on a homie. Nah, they're like, I got to get out of here.
I feel like it's the same thing with the skunk, though.
Nah, he's like,
spray you, and then I'm gonna get out of here.
Theoretically, I've never been sprayed by a skunk. I'm too scared. He might taunt me afterwards.
All right.
He'll be like, "Yo, what are you gonna do about it?"
On that note, thank you guys for sitting
nothing.
through all of this garbage. We really appreciate you, all 14 of you. No, I think we have better numbers. It's just like recently no one's been watching.
Just YouTube.
Oh, 40. Ethan's telling us we have actual followers.
I don't even know 40 people. I don't have 40 names I could give you with faces in my head.
Whatever. Either way, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to the show. Again, you can follow us specifically on social media. You can find me, Kendall McNelly, everywhere. William still doesn't have anything, so I'm still going to mention it every time we come to this place.
I got a heart and a soul.
That's about it.
And I fear skunks.
Actually, if you just carry a skunk around, you will never find William.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Because I would see you and leave.
Yeah. Look at that.
Not because I'm scared of the skunk. Why are you holding it, man? Whatever.
Is that thing safe? You got a leash on that thing? Oh, jeez.
Is your skunk fixed? You have a shot.
Either way, yeah. Again, appreciate you guys. If you guys want to send us anything, recommendations, we're probably gonna be shifting things. We got some new content on the way, some ideas we want to pan out. So things are gonna get real hot and heavy for the Sandbag Show. New experience, more intense. Not really. We're just gonna put out more garbage content. If you want to send us some music, some things that you're doing, some artwork, anything you got, we'd love to hear it. Comment section. You can DM us. You can find us at Gmail, thesandbagshow@gmail.com. I don't know. You just want to send us your address. I know I gave you mine, so it's just kind of even. You know, you send us your address, I'll send you mine. I think that's about it. I don't know. We can move on. If you want to see anything of us, more podcasts, more stuff, you can find us on YouTube. If you want to see our terrible faces and you want to see my bum leg and William's pink shirt, be very specific.
Looks white on video, though.
Does it really? Pull it. No? All right, whatever. Either way, you can find us on... Yeah, it does look white. This is a purple shirt. Looks black. Either way. YouTube for that. You can find us on everywhere you find podcasts. And other than that, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Bye.